We start things off from Fox 5 here in Atlanta. U.S. lawmakers revive bill to make daylight saving time permanent. Oh, yes. We have been waiting for this for quite some time, have we not? U.S. lawmakers are attempting to revive a proposal, once again, that would make daylight savings time permanent year-round. Dig deeper. The House Energy and Commerce Committee voted on Thursday in favor of the Sunshine Protection Act. The vote came out at 48-1, according to a Reuters report. The bill was included in a large transportation funding package called the Motor Vehicle Motorization Act. It was introduced by Rick Scott and Vern Buchanan from Florida. What they're saying, ending the clock change is a common sense reform that will improve everyday life for millions of Americans. I want to thank Chairman Guthrie and Subcommittee Chairman Bill Billericus for advancing my long-standing legislative priority today and look forward to becoming law, Buchanan said in a news release on Thursday. Let me know down in the comments, which do you prefer? Do you prefer standard time or do you prefer daylight savings time, which is what we're on here in the summertime? President Donald Trump supports the measure and praised it on social media, saying it's time that people can stop worrying about the clock, not to mention all of the work and money that is spent on this ridiculous twice-yearly production, Trump said. States such as Hawaii and most of Arizona would be exempt from the bill since they observe standard time all year. Additionally, states can opt out if the bill ever passes. Who would want to opt out of that? I know the airline industry and many of the travel agencies aren't too hip to these time changes because, like, for example, in Arizona, that sits there kind of out in the west of the United States, and it's on a different time zone from its neighboring states that are in the same time zone, as it were. I believe they're either on West Coast or Mountain Time. And, I could see that creating some confusion for flights and trains and all those sorts of time-sensitive operations. We'll listen to a little of what they had to say here on, this is Fox 5 Atlanta. This is the Fox 5 Live that appears on YouTube.
Some health impacts from daylight saving time. So let's bring in Dr. Jigme Sethi, physician executive of sleep medicine for Medical University of South Carolina's Regional Health Network. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today and help discuss this a little bit further.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And I want to go kind of back to basics first. Can you explain the different clocks that the body does have?
So the human body has to adjust to three different clocks, if you will. First, there is the endogenous or intrinsic biological rhythm called the circadian clock, which cycles every 24.2 hours. Then there is the solar clock, the night and day 24-hour cycle, and the solar clock entrains or aligns the circadian clock to be in rhythm or in phase. And when both these clocks are in phase, that determines the sleep-wake cycle for the human body. And then, of course, there is the third clock, the one that's dictated by the time change or all the social events that we want to impose upon ourselves, waking up at 4 o'clock to get to the gym, or shift work, for example, or in this case, DST.
And you might be.
And there you have it. So there you have from the medical expert, as it were, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I did a deep dive here with my staff, my crack staff. You may know it as ChatGPT. So from the Washingtonian, the U.S. tried permanent daylight savings time in the 70s. People hated it. Now, this goes back to 2022, 4 years ago. So we see the sun rose at 8:27 a.m. on January 7th, 1974. This would have been Nixon and Ford. Nixon had just resigned. Children in the Washington area had left for school in the dark that morning thanks to a new national experiment during a wrenching energy crisis. Most of the U.S. went to year-round daylight savings time beginning on January the 6th. It was jet black outside when my daughter was supposed to leave for school. Florence Bauer of Springfield told the Washington Post. Some of the children took flashlights with them. So, in other words, it was just too dark for them. It does go into rather extensive outlines here, as well as if you want to look it up, it's on the Washingtonian. And then if you want to see this article, it's from here in Atlanta, Fox 5. There was like some interesting additional little tidbits here. The backstory. So daylight saving time is defined as a period between spring and fall when clocks in most parts of the country are set 1 hour ahead of standard time. According to federal law, it allows, it always started on the second Sunday in March and ends in the first Sunday in November. The practice of springing forward in the U.S. started in 1918 during World War I as a way to conserve fuel by moving the clocks ahead an hour. So backers believe the country could divert a bit of coal-fired electricity to the military instead of using it for an hour at home power. It was reenacted in World War II. Now, you guys can pause it and read the rest of that if you would like. But very interesting. Now, time change has always been a thing for me because now, of course, we are currently on daylight saving times with it being summer. And this one always throws me off for at least a month with the hour ahead thing. And I just prefer standard time because that's when, when the sun and the earth and all that is actually in correct alignment, as it explained further in one of these other articles. But nonetheless, guys, let me know down in the comment section if you are looking forward to this finally being a one-time, all-time that we use throughout the country. And so, of course, it should be fascinating to see what you guys have to say. But thank you for all of you guys across New Tech. That's BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey. Below this video, ladies and gentlemen, you can find the various social media links that I belong to, so avail yourselves to that. And, of course, if you order frequently from Amazon or are a Prime member, you can use my landing page link safely, and your privacy is protected. It helps out the channel. And then, of course, my favorite VPN, TrustZone down there, virtual private network. No fuss, no bloat, gets you straight to what you want to do. And the connection times are amazing. They must have really improved it a lot compared to when I was using it 2 years ago. So I just renewed recently. But nonetheless, guys, appearing there on the screen, that's going to be the channel icon for all of you watching on YouTube specifically. You guys can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notifications. That way you'll know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.